this one. There we go. I've got it. So, where's the other bit I want? This one. There. Okay. So, thank you so much, all of you, for joining me. And it's a great night for us here because Aurelia and I have been working a lot behind the scenes, as you may know, to get Portugal open as the first of the next European countries. And we were able to announce that today with Aurelia, with Mauricio. We're live. So if you go into your back office, in fact, no, if you just go to the website, scroll right the way down until you see the flag of the USA or Canada, you click on that and you'll see the Portuguese flag pop up. And you click on that and there's your entrance into the Portuguese site. Now, you can change the language from Portuguese to English, so that's no problem. And you can now sponsor customers, enroll consultants, and the products will be shipped from Spain, Madrid to Portugal, which is not far really. It's kind of like across the border, not very far at all. So this evening, I really wanted to focus on how you guys can capitalize on the fact that we've opened in Portugal. The fact you're in Canada or you're in the States, in Mexico, in England, really doesn't matter. It's about using social media. And I was having a little private chat with Dean Gibson there earlier on about, how it is that we can use social media effectively. Now, I put this little guidebook together and I'm going to share it with you all this evening and then let you have a copy if you want it. I've done an e-book so you can have an electronic copy of it. So this was done purposely because it says on the front cover, look, how to prospect for customers and distributors and sell your products on Facebook, even if you're just starting out. So this is really, really simple. The most active groups on Facebook are in the age group of 40 to 60 or so, right? So that's perfect for what we want. We don't want to be necessarily worrying about Twitter, Instagram, although they're important, they're not that important. If we can make the best connections through using Facebook. And I'm going to show you step by step how I've done that and how it works for you. Now, if you have already got a Facebook page set up, then that's what we call your profile. You see that on the left. And your profile is plain and simple. It's a Facebook profile. It's a personal account. It's where you put your friends, family, you put what you had for lunch, what you're doing with the dog that night, where you're going, all that kind of stuff, right? You see people posting this kind of thing all the time. It's really simple. If you haven't got a Facebook page yet, just simply go to facebook.com and set one up. It's really simple. Now, on that profile, you're limited to 5,000 friends. And you might think, oh my goodness, well, that's enough. But not in business, and not if you're building a business abroad. Now, you can't advertise on your profile. And the reason for this is that when they set it up, Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who set it up, he wanted it to be a social network where you could just promote things about what you're doing as a family and friends, who's doing what with who, that kind of thing. And he'd never intended it to be a business platform. But as it grew, it became obvious that there was a financial opportunity for him to sell advertising space. So he split it up and he created this thing called Page, Facebook Page, which is on the right of your screen. So your Facebook page is a business account that represents the company or the organization that you work with. It allows businesses to promote special and contests to followers and engage them by them liking things. And I'm going to come to that in a minute. It allows you to use your business Facebook for advertising. Okay, so think of it as a local local newspaper that you, in the old days, you used to put an ad in the paper, you know, for $5 or something to advertise your bicycle for sale, right? So you can kind of do that too here. And there's no limit to the number of pages that you can manage. So you can have a business page for your gardening interests. You can have a business page for your food interests. You can have a business page for your immunotech interests. Okay. So you can do as many as you want, and they're free. Doesn't cost you a penny. You can have unlimited followers, and you can advertise. And not only that, but you can track and follow the results that you get. Okay, so there's other stuff there we call SEO benefits. I won't go into detail. That's just the way that the search engines look for things. That's kind of, this is 101. That's the next stage, okay? So we're going to take it bit by bit. So how to set up your page. First of all, you must have a profile. Now, some people say, oh, I don't want to be on Facebook. I don't want people to see what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. That's okay. You need to have a profile just to register your business page. So you don't have to interact with people on your profile page, but you must first of all have one. It's the gateway to having your business page. I hope that makes sense. So you don't have to be sharing what you have for dinner. You don't have to show pictures of the dog. You don't have to show pictures of the kids. You don't have to talk to people, but you need that profile page to set up. You need your profile to set up your business page. Okay. And we'll have lots of questions at the end, so don't worry, we'll go through it. Now, here's an example. If you look me up, this is my profile page. So I've got a nice picture at the top of the page. That could be anything. I just happen to put the ship because I used to work on that ship years and years ago. And I put a little personal profile picture. Now, some people here will put a picture of their cat, their dog, or something else. It's important that you put your face there because that's what people will connect with. Okay. And then you get a tagline, you know, I put there, one of life's adventures, blah, 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 blah. And I can edit that. I can change it. If I want to change it next week or tomorrow, it's easy to change all the time. So that's what your profile looks like. It tells a lot about you, but you have to remember, it's a bit like they say, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. What goes on in Facebook stays in Facebook. So if you don't want stuff seen, don't put it up there, okay? Right, so that's the first thing. That's your profile. The next part is what we call your page. And your page you simply set up by clicking on the button at the top of the page there. You'll see there's a little plus button next to my picture, right at the top on the right. It's a bit tiny, but you can just about see it. Right on the right hand side at the top, you'll see my picture, Scott, and to the right of that, it's got a plus button. You see that? So all you've got to do is click on that plus button once you've set your page up, and it will open up this business side. And here you can change it. So this part of it is not about the cats, the dogs, the food, the gardening. This is about my business. So here it's very focused, business looking, and that's what I want people to see. Okay, it's my shop window for what I do. And that's the same for you guys. This is where you would put your business about Immunotech, maybe you with a bunch of guys at a reunion or one of the big meetings, stuff that you've done, you know, up on stage, if you've been on stage, photographs of meetings, photographs of you with significant people in the organization to show that you're part of it. As the people get an image of you and what you're doing. Okay, so whoops, there we go. I'm going to move this top line around. So here is where you can, whoops, hang on one moment. I've got to go back again. There. So here you can create names for yourself, images. This put down the left-hand side, how you want your page to look. So you need to take some notes here, guys. You'll see right at the top of the page there, you'll see in green writing, it says www.canva.com. Can you see that? www.canva.com. Now, Canva will give you what they call royalty-free photos. That means, Canva will give you a system to create these images. So you see on the left, it says, "Welcome, Scott," on that green banner. And underneath it says, "The best stock-free photos on the back of wood, piles of wood." So all of that stuff is in Canva. And you just need to play with it. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. You just sign up on there, and it's how you create these images where you can put text and writing over the top of pictures. So if you've got a nice picture of you at an event and you want to put something on the text, you can do it here. It's very professional, and it's very easy to use because they give you pre-formed images and suggestions. So all you've got to do is change the picture and change the text. Okay, it takes a little playing around with, but it's quite fun. Now, the photographs you use on Facebook, it's very important that you don't use people's photographs without their permission, because you can get into hot water. So either you use your own photographs, or if you want to use these images like that one there with the piles of logs, that's okay, but you need to go to what we call a royalty-free photo site. So there's two I've listed at the top there, again in green. One is called Pexels. See that? PEXELS.com. And the other one's called unsplash.com. Now, both of those sites, you'll see loads of pictures. You can type in best gardening tips or best plates of pizza, and you get all these pictures will pop up relating to what you've asked for. All those photographs you're allowed to use free of charge. You just simply choose the ones you want, download them to your laptop, and you can say thank you to the person who took the photo. Have a nice day. Done. Right? It's great. You don't need to spend money here, guys. I'm trying to save you money. So almost any quoted post on this does well, but using a quote or saying connects with your audience. Now, here's where you need to speak to Foster, because he's the wizard of quotes. This guy has got a whole book full of quotes, right? And I know he's going to start using them on these great photographs. The one behind him, look at that one on the wall with the eagle, right? That's what you got. You got these great photos, and you can lay text over the top. That's what's really cool here. It doesn't have to be complicated either. Look, you see this one with vodka? Because no good story started by somebody saying, no good story starts with the one time I ate a salad, right? It's supposed to be funny, don't worry. Okay, next. So this is what it starts to look like. You need to write in here a little bit about you. You see it down on the left-hand side, it says about. So you put in a little bit of text about yourself, what you've done. So people, here's you could be writing about Immunitech. You know, I've been an Immunitech consultant for the last X number of years. I've got a background prior to that in other types of business. So they get a profile about you. They understand a little bit about who you are, what you like, what you don't like. And then you can start to invite your friends. So you'll see a little button there. It says you can invite your friends. And you click on that, and I've got 203 people that follow me on there now. And you just say, please like and share, please like and share. And everybody will start, certainly everybody in Immunitech will, right? And they've got probably a couple of hundred friends each. And so before you know it, you've got a lot of people following what you're doing. And the key to this is to write something every day, every other day, twice a day, depending on what you want to do. But it's a really cool way to communicate. I usually post at least twice a day. I'll find something to write about, even if it's just a couple of lines, because you want to keep yourself fresh. If you think about it, it's like a big table with a pile of papers, and everybody's putting a piece of paper on top of the other. So your story is going to get buried by everybody else's during the day. So you want to put another one up at 5 o'clock, right? Timing is something else. We'll come to timing in a minute, but timing is also important. So it says, what are your interests? who can you help and who can help you. This is what groups are about. So joining groups is a really good way to start to reach out around the world and find people that you need to connect with, whether that be for your hobby. And again, Dean and I were talking about, we both love gardening. So we want to be talking about gardening. You want to be talking about cooking maybe, or crochet, or golf, or running, or whatever your passion is. This is where you start to connect with groups. And I said it's so important that when you connect with these groups, those groups are about those subjects. They're not about immunotech. They're not about business. They're about people that are interested in pizza, or people are interested in gardening, or people are interested in golf. So you've got to keep your conversation in line with those interests. Okay, it's a bit like you going to a meeting. 50 people are meeting at the Holiday Inn on Saturday to talk about gardening, for instance. And you walk in the room and you think, oh my goodness, all these people are great. I'm going to connect with them because they all have the same interests as me. The first thing you do is walk around and talk to them about immunotech. No, big no, because they're going to go, what the hell's this? Who are you? What are you doing, right? We're here to talk about flowers and plants. So you've got to start your conversations based on the interest of the group. That's really important. So there's one on fitness, for instance. So this one is looking for personal trainers. Now, this is very relevant to us because we know that personal trainers, for instance, are really good at being consultants if we can get them on board. Why? Two reasons. They've got maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 clients that are paying them $30, $40, $50 an hour to work with them, to show them how to keep fit, right? So they've got an invested interest in looking after their bodies. So we know that they're prepared to pay to have advice, and we know that they're going to trust their personal trainer. That's a go for given, right? So by approaching a personal trainer and saying, hey, not only can you make $30, $50 an hour training, but you need to give them advice about their health and nutrition, right? So not only do you give them a menu and say, cut out the sugar, cut out the candy, cut out the cakes, but here's a product that I recommend you take every day because it helps you with your muscle recovery. It helps you protect your immune system. You know the story. I'm not going to go through that, but that's the reason that you're talking to this personal trainer. So all you do is in the top left-hand bar of your Facebook page, you see, you type in that little bar, personal trainers, where the red arrow is, and you click. And all of a sudden, all these people start to pop up down the right-hand side. You see them all there? Personal Trainers UK Network, personal trainer, PT Skills, blah, blah, blah. But you want to scroll down the page on the left, you see it says groups with the red arrow. Yeah, so you click on groups, and this is where you start to connect with these organizations. Once you've got into groups, you click on people. So now it's going to show you all the people that are in that group. Okay, this is amazing. You now know everybody in the room, right? Go back to the conference room. You now have the names, the business cards of everyone in the room. You know what they look like. You know what they do. You know where they work. Look at these people. Look at Adam, right? He works as a personal trainer. The one underneath, Sophia, she works for a radio station. She's got 776 followers. So you make friends with her, you've got this enormous group that she knows, right? Could she be a good networker? Absolutely, right? So you scroll down again, then you've got another one here. Guy works, Cassia Tiplo, works freelance personal trainer, Bodyline Studios, and she's got a mutual friend of yours. That's strange. How did that happen? So you need to click on that and find out, right? So this is giving you so much information. The little picture on the right, you see the red arrow points. If you click on that one, you'll find out all about Adam or all about any one of those people. It's really simple. Now, I'm going to send you this, right? You're going to have the book, so you can do this in your own time. Don't worry. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to find people in Ireland. So you can now think of this as Portugal, okay? At that particular time, I wanted to find people in Ireland. But let's say Portugal. So I just put in the top there, and I found the Irish Small Business Network. How many members? 5,000 members. Oh my goodness, right? So now I want to find out all about these 5,000 people. And so I click on the members thing and it pops up and I can look down the list and you see there Alexandra Watmore in the middle. Can you see her? So she only joined on Friday. Most of these people joined on Friday. So I'm going to click on there and go, hi, Alexandra, welcome to the group. I've just joined recently too. My name's Scott, or my name's Paulie, my name's Foster, my name's Dean, and I wanted to introduce myself. Seems like we've got some similar interests, right? So you're introducing yourself to the group, really important. And you'll see that as you get to know each separate group, some people will be giving them, writing in there about ideas. Oh, what do you think of this recipe? What do you think of the way I planted this garden? And then you click like it. Great job. Think you're doing really well there, Karen. Excellent, John. Okay, so they start to see you as a person that's interacting with them. You know them, you like them, and you like to communicate with them. So you're building this virtual friendship around a similar topic. We've still not talked about Immunotech. We've still not talked about Immunocal. We're just making friends right now. Okay? So this is what we call your social strategy. I've just got to sample this Portuguese wine again, excuse me. So how often do I need to post? When do I need to post? And what's the response? So messaging, comments, mentions, news. Okay, let's have a look at that. Oh, no, I go back one. Wait a minute. Sorry. I thought that was right. Okay, so how often do you need to post? You need to post, I say personally, at least once a day, but preferably twice. When do people look at social media? Well, before COVID, they all had jobs and they worked and traveled in the morning, right? So they maybe look at their social media in the morning during breakfast. So posting something around 8:30, 9 o'clock maybe. Then they have a lunch break, 12:30, and they take another look. So maybe you post again at 12:30. Then they get home, sort the kids out, have a bite to eat, maybe watch some TV. 7, 8 o'clock, you want to maybe post again. Okay, so if you're posting outside of those times, then you're being buried under those bits of paper I told you about. Do you remember? So you want to be posting at relevant times when most eyeballs are on your page. So the chances are if you put a post up 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, more people are going to see it than if you posted at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you understand what I mean? That's so important. So your timing is important, right? When people are actually looking at Facebook, and you can Google this stuff, but it'll tell you when is the best time to post. And you'll see what I'm saying is usually about right. Okay, so there's a lot of information there. I don't expect you to remember all of it by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to send you, just let me know if you want a copy. That's my email address, as you know, and I'll very happily send you a copy of this as an ebook. Let's get back to sharing the screen again. Wait a minute. I'm going to move you guys over there. Where's it gone? I've done something wrong. What have I done? Oh, there we are. There it's there. I'm not that techie, you see, even though I pretend I am. There we are. Okay, so by all means ask some questions, because this is a great time to do it. But I really want you to think about these groups for Portugal. And if I was to do that live with you, I could actually give you a demonstration just by going onto Facebook and typing in that top left-hand corner, Portuguese restaurants in my district. So wherever you are in the world, type in Portuguese expats in my area. And you're just going to find people. And that's how you start to connect with them through these social media groups. Okay, so let's have a quick look in the chat, see what's coming up here. Copy of the book, please, Dean. Yeah, well, you're definitely going to get one. I promised you one at the beginning. No problem. Can you send me your email address to my email address, please, Dean? Yeah. And you can put the book on XYZ Tools, Keith. Yes. So I'll send you that link as well, right? So that could go in, probably the easiest way, isn't it? Save doing it all separately. But yeah, we can do that. I don't have it on here right now, but I'll get that to you for sure. So this is a good time to open up for some questions. If you guys want to actually ask something, I'll do my best to answer if I can. You know, what your thoughts are, first of all, about Portugal, and what we're doing over here in Europe, and anything you feel relevant from what we've talked about this evening.
I've got a comment, Scott. Certainly, yes, the whole process works. I did some UK research on Oldershaw and yes, came up with some 80, 90 names, yes, in various groups with Oldershaw and various
just
businesses
with your family name. That was brilliant, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. There, and that's the,
look at that big thick pile.
And that's double-sided.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. Well, I know that you're right on top of it. So, you know, we've been talking for a little while about it, haven't we? So,
and yeah, and sometimes you will get lists of organizations as well as part of the package. Again, I have a list of some 8 to 10 rugby clubs that I'm working with and contacting. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it works.
You know, as I mentioned about personal trainers, but sports generally is a really good way to focus our attention right now, for many different reasons. I mean, currently we've got the soccer matches going on, you know, as you know, what's happening right now in Europe here. Also tennis, for those of you who follow tennis, with Wimbledon week. You know, these are topical conversations, a bit like news. So getting into these groups that are very topical right now, where everybody's following those groups, they're trying to catch up on bits of news. And this is a place you can say, look, this is a product that's great for recovery. This is something that Oreco recommends to top soccer players. You know, this is a perfect time to interact with the health groups, the fitness groups, the sports groups. You know, we're mid-season now. Cricket's coming up. I know you guys don't understand cricket. We won't even go there, right? It's 11 men, and when they're in, they're out, and when they're out, they're in. Okay, you got that. but seriously,
they hang around trees.
They hang around trees, exactly. But this is actually a great time of the year to be focusing on sports, because everybody's out there really busting a gut, and they need to do the recovery. And you know, when they're doing these kind of triathlons and events that go on for days and days and days, they get tired, and they need to be on top form, right? Our product's so relevant to them. And we've got all the statistics, all the research, as you know, to back up what we say. So, you know, really start to focus the new country being Portugal. This is the next country after Spain on the mainland of Europe. We have a lot of British people that go down to the Algarve in the south of Portugal to play golf. So if you're into golf or you know people into golf, start to talk about how we're expanding into Portugal, how there's some great golf courses there, and how they can get to fly to Portugal on all expenses, because it's tax deductible if they join our business and build a business in Portugal, right? You've got to be creative in your thinking, guys, you know. If you think of the climate of Portugal, it's a bit like Spain, it's a bit like Florida, you know, it's like similar kind of climate. So lots of activity down there. They also have some great wine. That's another excuse. Portuguese wine is very good. The food of Portugal, wonderful. And I know you're going to have expats all over Canada and America that are running Portuguese restaurants, running Portuguese food outlets, creating some wonderful foods, some cheeses, some sausages, all the things that are traditional to support the communities that are expat to Canada and America. Yeah. So yeah, very, very exciting times. We're now working hard on Germany, Italy, France to bring that to you guys at the end of the year, with all being well. It's a lot of fun actually creating this stuff, and I'm so happy today that it went live, because it's been a lot of work to make that happen. But so please do take advantage of it. You know, I know that Don was going to be on the call tonight. He's in Spain, but we're going to send him a recording. But please, you know, if you've got any feedback on what we've discussed this evening, feel free to open up your mic now and let's talk about it, because you know, Europe is the next big focus. And strangely enough, as I've said in the past, you don't need to worry about language barriers. Really, you really don't, because you're going to find Spanish speakers, Portuguese, French, German, Italians in your communities that also speak English. So let them worry about the language. You know, some years ago, I was working out of Vancouver with a different company, and I had a group of Mandarin speaking ladies, all Chinese Mandarin speaking, right? And all I did was open the evening, create the space for them to work and let them get on with it. You know, they spoke to each other, they did their presentations in Mandarin, and we had a great turnover of product. I didn't understand a word they said, but we did some big volumes, right? And so that's all you've got to do. You've got to find somebody that's your link person. They're bilingual with Portuguese, English, or any other European language, and they'll start to create that momentum for you through their own communities in their own language back into their home countries.
Don is on, Scott.
Yes, I know he is. I've just spotted him. He's always out there sunbathing. You know, Don is one of those guys from Ireland. The Irish are blue skinned, so when he gets out in the sun, he goes really brown. I know he's listening.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
So besides the Facebook page itself,
yeah,
is corporate looking into, and if it's not, this is my recommendation, is corporate looking into what I call pre-approved ad, or let's say taglines that we can simply copy and paste, because creating the page is not the most difficult part. It's about going out there, putting your messages out, and you are being policed, because we often being told, be careful, make sure that it's on, you know, it's compliant. And that in itself has caused major hesitation in terms of what the English market is, you know, able to do, able to say. And you know,
yeah, I hear you, Foster. I mean, you know, the thing is, I mean, and I'm speaking from a very broad experience of many different companies I've had the privilege to work with over a long period of time, and that's been an issue always. But from the perspective of the public that are looking at what we do, you need to keep it really simple. You need to talk about things that they will relate to. They won't know what the hell glutathione is. They may know what their immune system is, but probably not. This is the problem. You've got to speak to them in a way like, how would you like to increase your energy? How would you like to get recovery faster from sports injury? How would you like to be more mentally alert every day? See, those kind of things are ambiguous. They're not making a statement about your product. They're just asking a rhetorical question. And what if I could show you a way that you could improve that, and not only improve it, but I guarantee you'll get a result, or I'll give you your money back, because we have a 30-day money back guarantee, right? So these are hooks that I would use once I've got to that point of the conversation. But the primary thing I was trying to explain this evening is not so much being in a salesy kind of way. It's about developing relationships with people first. Because I think once you've developed that relationship, those kind of taglines and stuff are not so necessary. You're really just, you know, you've built a relationship with somebody over a period of several weeks or months, and they've got to know you, and you've dropped it into the conversation now and then what you do. And by the way, here's a couple of free sachets to try it. You know, it's very, very softly approach. It's not really a kind of aggressive marketing approach on social media. And this is something that was quite alien to me too, because, you know, you and I, Foster, come from that period of, you know, in the 80s, it was all about you're a wimp if you have lunch. Was it Gordon Gekko, right? Lunch is for wimps. It's all about the aggressive marketing and catching of people's attention. And that's changed. You know, now it's about relationship selling. It's about commonalities. It's about empathy. It's just that you've got to approach it in a slightly different way. But the safe way, I would say, to answer your question directly, is if you go on to the Immunotech back office, there's various different bits of marketing materials you can use. There is, if you go to Google, type in Immunotech, and then go to pictures, you'll see different things that have been approved. You can borrow those. But honestly, I don't think that's the way to go. I really don't. I really think it's about one-on-one, building those relationships, getting to know someone, you know, finding out about them, what they like, what they don't like, what their strengths and weaknesses are, who they've got in their family got health challenges, who they've got in their family got financial challenges, how you can be a support, a consultant, a friend to them, and help them and guide them.
So let's narrow this down, Scott, and I see where you're going with this. So we talk about different interest groups, people who love gardening, people who love say, pets here and there. What if we're targeting people who are health conscious?
Right.
What would you lead if you are targeting people that are health conscious? There gotta be something about health to open the door somehow. Yeah,
but specifically, again, if you know who you're talking to, so, you know, it's all about asking the right questions, isn't it? So if I'm talking to a personal trainer, as an example, then I know pretty much what that person, how I would guide my conversation towards them, because they're self-employed, they're independent, right? Most of the time. They have maybe 10, 15, 20 clients that stay with them because they trust him and like him, and they work with him every week. And they're paying the guy or girl to give that service. And it's usually, I mean, in the UK, it's like, I don't know, $1,000 a month to have a personal trainer. It's not that cheap, right? So if you know they're spending that on advice and physical, you know, training, then the next transition is about their diet. And it's a bit like, you know, it's kind of a doctor relationship, isn't it? If you know me and trust me, and I say, listen, I noticed you packed on a couple of extra pounds there around the middle there, Foster. Let's work on those, right? We're gonna get you on the track a few days.
That's a true sign of success, Scott.
We're going to get you around the track a few days with your sons, and you want to keep up with those boys, right? So you're going to need this product for recovery. And boy, oh boy, once you feel the benefit of it, I know you're going to want to share it with your clients. Do you see what I mean?
Gotcha.
And you make it fun. You know, we have fun with this stuff. It's got to be fun. If it's not fun, no one's going to do it. You've got to kind of introduce this. It's a bit wacky. It's a bit off the wall. But I've got something, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I've got a product here that look, listen, it's got all the science, it's got all the backup, it's got all the references. I've been taking it so long, blah, blah, blah. You know, we know how to do that pitch, right? But it's about who you're talking to. So if you're focusing on sports, that's my suggestion for this evening. You know, you go where you want, right? But I'm looking to find people that are going to help me build my business. Metaphorically speaking, okay? I'm not building a business, I'm advising. So what I'm saying is, like, if I'm in your shoes, I want to find somebody who's not just going to be a customer, but there's going to be a promoter. So why am I talking to the personal trainer? Because that's his or her income. That's how they make their living. So if I can show you a way, Julie or Fred, how you can increase your income through your business, would that be of interest to you? And if they say no, no problem. If they say yes, let's schedule a time for a coffee or a fruit juice. Let's talk about it, because I've got some great ideas. Yeah. So we say sell the sizzle, not the steak, right? You don't want to be standing there at the bus stop pitching them for an hour and a half. You want to kind of get them in a frame of mind where you can take, I mean, one of the other things I would do is take a little backpack or a little handbag with you with some product in it in the original boxes. Okay, it's a whole box of product, not just a few sachets. So a box of platinum, box of regular, box of booster. Keep with the basics. Don't take the whole line of products, right? We don't want to overwhelm them. We want to talk about the baseline products first, the best sellers, and the ones that we've built the reputation of the company on, right? So let me take you through these three products, and you bring out the boxes onto the table, and you see there's 30 sachets in this box, because we want you to have one a day, not just one, right? And by the way, if you get this box, it's guaranteed for the whole month. So if you drink them all and you don't like it, that's okay, we'll give your money back. They go, really? Yeah, because we love our product, we know it so well, we get 0.01% return. It's
Okay,
crazy.
Scott, put a little human there. If you drink this whole box, after 30 days, you don't die, we give you your money back.
Oh, Scott, I'm sorry. Foster's been listening too much. As
Hey,
you were
listen,
talking.
Scott, when we have Keith on Monday, we have you on Wednesday. We have to a middle ground.
Scott, as you're talking about it, and people are looking at ways to go out, and it's always about contacting people.
Yeah.
And you're looking for people that are entrepreneurial in their spirit.
Correct.
How
Absolutely.
about every local farmers market vendor?
Sure. Absolutely. Fantastic idea.
Well, and the good news about that, they are generally going to be on the organic side of the equation.
Yeah.
They're going to be independent business owners.
Uh-huh.
And they're out there for the MONEY.
Yeah.
They're not out there for the religious experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can do a little bit of that, and you can do a little bit of prospecting that way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Keith, that's fantastic. So I've focused on the personal trainers, but you're right. It's the entrepreneurial spirit. It's the people that have confidence to stand up there in a farmer's market and promote their product, talk to strangers. Absolutely. You're bang on the money for sure. You're looking for people that are going to help you duplicate your business. There's no question about that. And all I've been trying to say this evening is you can do that online. You can extend that into any other country where we operate.
And you can look for farmers market people in Portugal.
Sure.
From the US.
Yeah.
That speak English.
That's true.
And you can share the stories.
It's just a question of focusing your time. You know, this is another subject for another day, but you know, I think if you know yourself that you've got, you know, 5-6 hours a week to put into the business, then use that time effectively. You know, collate this information, make yourself, I'm going to make 5 new groups this week. I'm going to try and contact 10 new people. You know, the great Larry Thompson taught me back in the 80s. He said it's all about a little bit, but consistent. You know, a day at a time, a brick at a time. You know, there's no other way to build a network marketing business that doesn't fall over because it's been built on sand. You know, you're signing up 40 people in a month. 2 months later, 90% of them are gone. If you do 2 or 3 or 4 a month and you work with those to help them find 2 or 3 or 4 people themselves, get them to silver, get them to gold, that, you know, it takes time. It's a strategy. And you're looking for good people around think of yourself as the CEO, right? You think of yourself as Mauricio. He's built his team. I'm very fortunate to be on that team with him, right? Alexandro was on that team with him, right? We were brought into the business based on our skills and our personality. That's what you've got to do. You've got to find people with the skills and the personality that's going to be around your boardroom table. You just duplicate what we're doing. It's a similar process. The difference is we're paying for the warehousing and getting the product out there and all the marketing and research. We've done that for you. Okay. All you've got to do now is find your core team, work with them to build the business up, and you'd be surprised. You know, even if you guys have been in the business a long time, you know, I'm the new boy here, right? I've only came into the business a year ago today. How about that? It's my first anniversary, 7th of July. And you know, the point is this: it's not about me. It's not about the corporate team, really. We've done our bit. We've kind of put the facility in place for you to trade. Now you've got to go and open those countries. You know, and you know, my friend John Solider, your friend John Solider, we met back in 1992 when he was in London, and the guy worked and worked and worked every day. We drove up and down the country. We were seeing people for coffees and beers and, you know, milkshakes or whatever we were doing. We were just having such fun talking about what we were doing. And that's what you got to do. You got to create that buzz. Get together with people in your group. Have these little think tanks, right? We're now pretty much out of COVID now. So it's time to go back out there and into the coffee shops. And if you can't, let's just do this again, you know. Let's do little private groups where we can get together in Zoom. Let's try and focus on some English-speaking Portuguese and bring them on board. Have a little Portuguese group. That would be fun, you know. You know, Alejandro, you did this, right? You went from Mexico to Cartagena and built your group in Colombia, right? You know, you spent some time out there, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I went to Colombia and opened a group in Colombia, and the network works very well because I met a guy who by the way, has another guy in Dominican Republic, and this guy in Dominican Republic has people in Spain, Ireland, UK, Canada, US, and there are some people still working in the US and in Canada.
Yeah, you see,
so
that's the thing.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic, and I know you had a lot of fun doing it. And the legacy is you're still having an income from what you set up, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
And all the people in Canada can tell you that the company has been paying for 25 years commissions without any trouble at all. They receive the self order every single month, and I mean it's great. This company is so great, and we are just starting. We are just starting.
We are
Believe
just
me.
starting. You know,
Believe.
it's strange, but we are just starting. And I have to say, you know,
Yeah.
Mauricio has done an amazing job at putting together a structure that we've now got. The new website looks fantastic. We've now got Portugal open. We're going to have 3 more countries coming online. It's a great time to be involved, guys. It really is. I'm certainly very excited about it. So please do send me an email if you want me to forward you the book. I'm going to get one across to Keith because he's going to put it on XYZ Tools. There's some more chat here. Let's have a quick look, see what came up. Are we allowed to create a YouTube channel to talk about Immunical? Well, you can go online, or you can use your phone. You can talk to your phone on a little short, I wouldn't make a long one, maybe a minute, minute and a half. Just, you know, say this product I found, hold the box up. It's been a great help to me and my family and my health. Really, really an amazing thing. I wasn't sure about it at first, but now, you know, kind of create your own story and then post that. But don't be too specific about health, medical conditions. That's the issue, right? That's the thing we've got to be a little careful with. We could talk about general well-being, energy, recovery, things like that, but not specific illnesses or conditions. That's the bit that we've got to be careful of because of the FDA and the FTC, right? They're the ones that are scrutinizing everything we put up online. But if you keep it generic, if you talk about your personal experience, Dr. Barry White, you're on there this evening, I see. Dr. White was telling me a few weeks ago about his wife's health was compromised. He was a little skeptical about the product when he first approached about it some 20 years ago. And yet today, they still have a wonderful life, you know. Things like that that's enough. You don't need to say any more. People, if they're interested in what you've said, they're going to start digging in to find out more. Yeah, and that's really all there is to it. The process is simple enough, and if you keep it simple, if you keep it generic, keep it very light, interesting, then you'll definitely catch people's attention. And you know, just work with your upline, the ones that have built your groups, the ones that introduced you, right? There's something they said that made you think, okay, I'm going to do it. I'll try. I'm going to see if it works for me. Go back in your mind, think, what was that hook that made you say, okay, I'm going to do it? Because people like people, you know, if whatever it was that you said is usually the reason that people like you too, right? You have your similar interests in friends. So think of it along those lines, and have fun with it. You know, it's all about having the fun with it. And when you get to the big conventions, and I really recommend you go. If you need to qualify for these things, guys, because that's when you meet the real success stories, and you can pull them over to one side behind a palm tree and find out what they did. Right? You know, you can nail them on the beach. What is it you did? Well, we're going out to Miami to this wonderful hotel in November. It's very exciting. I've got my bucket and spade packed. So look, listen, it's 8:30. That's the time. It's wine o'clock here. I don't know about you guys. I'm having breakfast, but I'm going to sign off. I want to thank you all very much for listening in tonight. We're really excited about what's happening with Portugal. I hope you do follow up with me and Aurelio and the team over here, because we're really ready to support you with everything we can do to get your business started. Okay. So I'll sign off now. I have recorded it. I'm going to send you one, Don, and anybody else that wants one. Appreciate you all being here. God bless. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.